Well, all big unions, just like big business, they're corrupt. Our government's corrupt. What are you going to do? It's the way the country is. At least it's free. We don't have communist control here anyways.
Jimmy Hoffa's wife, Jo, waits for her husband. It's the day before Christmas, 1971, and President Nixon has commuted Jimmy's 13-year sentence.
No, I believe it. No, I believe it.
How's it feel, Mr. Hoffa?
All right, wonderful. Very good indeed. Hello, sister.
Will Jimmy run again for president of the Teamsters?
Well, after being 40 years in the labor union operation of the Teamsters Union, however, I do not intend to break the conditions that will be established and I'll work from within to see what can be done about it.
He took over the union in the mid-1950s and made it the biggest one in the world. But the charges of arch-enemy Bobby Kennedy finally ran out of court appeals, and Hoffa went to jail. And then it happens.
My father, James R. Hoffa, has been missing for some 32 hours. He left for an appointment at Max's Red Fox restaurant at approximately 1:30 p.m. Wednesday, July 30, 1975. He called home at approximately 2:15 p.m. We have not heard from him since.
At the present time, we have no information as to the present whereabouts of Mr. Hoffa. We have no information that he is living or dead. I think with the passage of time, I think it's quite conceivable that there is a little feeling that maybe there's a possibility that he may not resurface again.
The search for Hoffa, or his body, goes on for months as one tip or another comes in. Some involve one-time mafia associates, men who supported Hoffa's rise to power, but did not want him as the boss again. While in jail, Hoffa was convinced the man he'd left in charge had conspired with the White House to prevent his heading the Union again. This man is Charles Chucky O'Brien, a foster son to Hoffa, and yet a suspect. Another suspect is tall, curly-haired Joe Giacalone, a friend of Chucky's. But the questioning comes to nothing.
He's been made the object of a great deal of antagonism and accusations, unfounded, baseless accusations. And I think that it would just be inappropriate at this time for him to try to put himself in a position of defending himself, because I don't think he should be defending himself. He's got nothing to defend himself about. My personal opinion is that Mr. O'Brien has no more idea what happened to Mr. Hoffa than you or I do.
I don't know who done it, but I imagine he's got a cement jacket in the bottom of the Detroit River.
The FBI finds another kidnapped victim, one who learned to fight for her abductors, and she's arrested. Hauled screaming from her apartment in February 1974, Patty Hearst, then 19, is taken by gun-happy terrorists of the Symbionese Liberation Army, and she told authorities later, kept drugged and terrorized for weeks in this closet. Tortured mentally and physically, she says she joined the SLA in fear for her life. Whether willingly or unwillingly, she did help in the infamous bank job 2 months after her abduction. They scooped up more than $10,000. In tape-recorded messages, Patty announced to the world she was now loyal SLA member Tanya, named for a woman who aided Che Guevara. Patty says later she was being closely watched during that first bank job by Sin Q, Donald DeFreeze. The black ex-con and SLA leader dies with 5 other SLA members in a shootout with the FBI in Los Angeles, Patty barely missing that shootout. She hid, along with William Harris, his wife, and another SLA member, Wendy Yoshimura, a Japanese-American artist. Patty seems defiant. Asked her occupation at the jail, she lists urban guerrilla. Randolph Hearst and his wife know many trials in the 19 months of Patty's capture. But now the trial is Patty's on charges of bank robbery, assault, and the kidnapping of a youth in Los Angeles.